the job of politicians is to balance the interests of their constituency and their donors. And different politicians do that in like varying proportions. For the Republicans, you need to balance the needs of the constituency so you get voted in, but you are the party of big business, so you need to do whatever is necessary to appease your many, many donors and the many wealthy people, you know, who sort of lobby and propagate your misinformation. And it's really difficult to sell the American people on the political agenda of we will make your life worse to enrich the bourgeoisie, so they sell you on cultural issues instead. Oh, it's not our fault that your, jobs are drying up and no one gets paid enough. It's not our fault for taking away the unions. It's actually the fault of brown people for immigrating, And then you get people really invested in the low-level cultural issues while you get away with a bunch of high-level economic, shenanigans. The problem is we've bought our own propaganda, and now the right is doing fascism for fascism's sake rather than fascism for big business's sake, which is meaningfully distinct in the sense that they're now willing to do things that are fascistic, even if it hurts businesses. That's what we're seeing right now with immigration. I promise you, American business does not want 20 million immigrants deported the way that Trump is currently bragging he's going to do. I promise you, they do not benefit from that. There are tons of, industries that massively rely on immigrant and undocumented immigrant labor. They do not want that to happen. Immigration is the lifeblood of this country. It has been since day one. It's economically beneficial. It, contributes to lower rates of crime. The cultural diversity of this country is unironically one of its greatest strengths in terms of our global hegemony. There's a reason why almost all of the culture around the world that we hear about that is American comes from like Black or Latin American sources. It's because that like low income cultural point, I just immigrated 10 fucking years ago and I have some things to say kind of like attitude, or, I grew up in Harlem or in the Bronx and I have something to say. Like these contribute massively to the power of our country. But the right wing doesn't like it anymore, because like brown people scary, black people scary. The existence of brown and black people in America is keeping me from getting a fucking trad wife. They all want like 14-year-old blonde trad girl wives or whatever. Look at JD Vance, man. Jesus Christ. So now they're going after, like they're actually unironically doing the fascism bit rather than just signaling at it is in an attempt to forward economic issues. The same thing happened in Nazi Germany, right? Like, you have that like crossing point where you signal the issues to benefit the businesses, and then past the point, you're not even benefiting the businesses anymore. Russia did the same thing, Obviously, the war in Ukraine is not benefiting the oligarchs. When you go too far down the road, it's like, what do you even do? We're not talking about unsustainable infinite growth, double KA. We're talking about the opposite right now. Even businesses stand to be hurt by what is happening right now. Like the Republican talking points, they're not to the benefit of businesses, It's fascism for fascism's sake. We're sort of hitting the pure point, Why didn't big business side with Trump on January 6th? What would they have done? There was a sudden riot at the Capitol. What is like Papa John's Pizza gonna go on social media and say we stand with God Emperor Trump? That's not how it works. Big business does stand with Donald Trump. Like look at the way the donor class behaves. Look at the way the stock market behaves. It's not that obvious. It's not like big business in Germany didn't stand with Adolf Hitler during the beer hall putsch. They fell in line because they were more interested in being led around by a fascist than they were in losing power to socialist revolutionaries. Yes, Papa John himself would be a Jan 6er, but he doesn't currently run Papa John's Pizza, Big business craves stability above all else. Well, now that's going to get hurt, The economy does benefit from stability, which you might notice we're not living in very stable times.